Afternoon to you. Happy birthday and get well.
I will be getting well. You know, for all of you out there who've not had the opportunity to see this, you must not have opened an Essence or Jet or an Ebony magazine, because it's there. Here at BT Shop, of course, we're going to offer to you the fabulous price tag in just a few minutes. However, before we do that, we have for you a wonderful work of art in the form of a watch. We're going to give you a close-up shot of this and tell you about it. The artwork, of course, is done by Poncho Brown. Take a close look at what we're going to offer for everybody out there in the form of a delicate watch. By the way, this does have a modified, it's a leather band that there it is. That is gorgeous. Do me a great big favor, if you will. Dial in instantly for it. It's number 592486. It's called Embrace. It's only $39. Tell me a little bit about that print.
Well, Embrace is probably one of my third best-selling pieces. I have the first two that are going to be shown in the next segment. It really shows the family unit, the male embracing the woman, embracing the child. And it's a really important piece. I mean, it's one of the pieces that family is such a central theme for us. I mean, this is where to start. This is the start of where we solve most of our problems with the way we live. And you don't see a lot of pieces depicted that show the full family unit. You usually show the woman and the child, but they don't, very seldom they show the man, woman, and the child. So it's a real important thing. I mean, everybody has a tie, and this piece brings you back to that tie. Raising your children and being exposed to something like this is very important too. I mean, a lot of us can imagine what pieces were in our home when we were coming up, and it may have been Martin Luther King, it may have been a flower arrangement, but very seldom do we have any pictures that depicted our, especially family units. So I think that's real important. I mean, I think the positive nature of family is something that will take us to the next level.
Please remember that this is in very, very limited quantity. If you're interested, you must make a beeline to the phone. An 8-inch band, I can call this unisex, because I will tell you the guys will look great in it. I would wear it as well. And of course, you're getting a work of art by your total history in art is so illustrious. I mean, you've actually been on no less than everybody who is anybody on a talk show. You've had well over 50 individual premieres of your artwork, showings everywhere around, and yet I meet you, and I will tell you, prior to meeting you today, I had in my mind a much more mature and older
person.
Absolutely.
Yes,
so how do you manage to create such wonder and such beauty at such an early age?
I think that age is something that everyone has experiences, and I got into art at a very young age. I showed an interest probably.
It's gone.
I got interested in art when I was around 4 years old, and thanks to my mother and my family, they nurtured me through it. And so I started in business at an early age. At around 15, I had my first full-time job doing art.
They saw the talent.
Yes, so
Here it is, girls. Get ready to dial in. It will be instantly sold out. This is the Blackest Black. It is the very first piece of art that I purchased from Poncho Brown, and I'm sure if it's yours, it certainly won't be your last. Take a quick look, dial in right now, and enjoy the beauty of shades, colors. This is Blackest Black. It's 22 by 28. It's only $29. The item number 609292. Tell me a little bit about how you decided to come up with something like this.
Well, Blackest Black is probably my most important piece. Back in 1988, I came up with a theme of unity. We talk about racism, and we can't deal with racism outside of a group until we deal with racism within our group. I know very, very light complected African Americans and very, very dark complected African Americans, and it was just always so interesting to see how differently we treated each other. So this piece is really done to deal with that subject. And later on, as I got into it, I developed a series out of it. I have another series called Gradations 1 and 2, which are both limited edition pieces. Both of those have sold out. But these pieces are readily available, and so far this is one of the top 15 African-American prints in the country. It really got some popularity when it was shown on A Different World. It was featured on A Different World for 2 seasons, and that really helped boost the popularity of the piece. But it's a real important unity piece. Most of my work is about unity to some degree, but this Harmony series is something that I'm going to be working a lot with in the next few years.
Now tell me, what subjects do you like to portray?
Say it again.
What subjects do you like to portray?
I like to portray family and, again, unity. Unity is something that runs through a lot of my work. Sometimes I do dance themes. I like to deal with emotion, rhythm, emotion. And my later works are a lot about spirituality and family spirituality.
You know, I look at the beauty of this, and not just the blending of color, but although you're looking at just parts of faces, there's an innate beauty and a serenity here that you capture in the eyes. It's just wonderful. I've had this print now for quite a long time, and I not only look at it and see something different every time I pass it, but I've noticed people entering my home will stop and pause a minute and think they have it, and then they'll pass it, and then they'll come back and look at it again.
Well, I think that the eye, again, is the gate to the soul. It really shows you a lot. A lot of times when you talk to people, you can learn a lot by looking at the eyes. But when I did this piece, it was really funny because a lot of the distributors, when I first launched this piece, thought that it would never sell because it was done with an untraditional medium. But it quickly one of the top 10 pieces that are on the market right now.
Well, I understand how popular you are. As a matter of fact, we'd like to welcome in a shopper, I believe, on the line for us right now. Hi, you're on the air with Poncho Brown. Your name is?
Well, hey, I don't know what to say. Hey, I'm hanging on.
Hello? Hello there.
Yes.
We have you on the air today.
Thanks.
Your name is?
How are you?
Just terrific.
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
Fine, and you?
I'm doing fantastic. We didn't get a name?
I can't believe I'm on there.
Yeah, you're on air. You're on air.
What's your name?
My name is Crystal, and I'm from Newark, Delaware.
How you doing, Crystal?
Fine.
Crystal, are you there?
Yes.
Excellent. It's a pleasure to welcome you in.
Thank you.
What did you choose today?
Give me a picture. I chose the Blackest Black.
Excellent. Sweetheart, would you do me a favor? Listen through the telephone, not over the television. There's a bit of a delay. Okay? What is it about this particular piece that prompted your call?
Excuse me?
What did you like about this?
I like the faces, the way it comes out of the picture. And I think it'll go good in my living room.
Excellent. Is this your first piece of artwork from BET Shop?
Yes.
Excellent. You made a great choice.
That's great.
Yes.
Well, enjoy.
Well, we certainly thank you for shopping.
Thank you.
Okay.
All right, bye-bye.
One of the things that I'd like all of you out there to understand, and better yet, let some of the celebrities that you've done work for.
Well, we just featured one in your last segment. Susan Taylor has a portrait I did of her about 2 years ago. Bill Cosby, Anita Baker, Oprah Winfrey, Dick Gregory, quite a few people.
Yes, and I know that a lot of you out there making the call on this again, please be quick. Buy multiples if you have a friend or relative out there. Our price is quite outstanding at $20. And you can own it. Now remember, the piece that you're looking at is in actually poster form. We framed them here on the studio set so that you could see what it looks like framed. It measures a 22 by 28 and it is outstanding. Where have your works been seen on TV?
Well, Different World has featured some of my work, and HBO had some of my work on one of their programs too. But quite a few of my pieces have shown up on like Bill Cosby show, A Different World, and it's been getting around. Sometimes when you go to the movies, you don't look at the pieces that are on the walls, but lately I've been noticing that more people are noticing the shows, the set decorations in movies and TV. So keep looking, and you may see some of these pieces turning up.
A minute and 38 seconds left. Who were some of your inspirations?
One of my inspirations was Charles Bibbs. He's another very well-known African-American artist. He was one of the few people that I looked at and said, hey, I think I can do this. Another artist was Paul Goodnight. And not a female, Cynthia St. James is a very good friend of mine, and she's a good inspiration, and Varner Honeywood. So those were all contemporary
Now,
favorites.
when I ask you this question, you're going to go blank because I'm looking at these pages and pages and pages of who's who. Tell me a little bit about your education. Now, you mentioned that your family was a very, very strong influence early on in your life, but how did you get to this point?
Well, I mean, I think all of it, I started at a vocational high school, which means I went to a trade one half of the day and I went to my academic classes the other half of the day. So I was fortunate enough that I caught on to things really quickly as far as lettering, which is really my forte. I really started doing handwriting and signwriting for different organizations, and as well as TV and some movies. And after the years, evolved, I started doing things for graphic design, and Dick Gregory was really the first person to give me a severe break and gave me an opportunity to do the illustrations for his Bohemian Diet product. And that's when things really began to catch on for me, because then my work was aired on Ebony, Essence, Jet Magazine, and so forth. And that education in high school also allowed me to get a job in my 10th grade year. So I've been doing this professionally for about 14 years now.
Now, you mentioned getting a job in your 10th grade year. It is very difficult for the masses to see a work of art like this and even think that at the tender age, of course, 16, 17 years old, that you were actually earning a living with your artwork.
I've been earning a living with my artwork for 14 years now. Wow. And I think what happens is we were miseducated about art.
Exactly. Yeah. 609-292, currently still available at $29, but we're about to move on. What you were just looking at was the female version of it. This actually is the counterpart, and they both would make a wonderful combination in anyone's home. Take a quick look, and we'll offer you this very, very quickly. You must make the call at 609-293 at $29.95. Now, was there an outcry when you did the first to do a second, or did you do the
first did the series? I had envisioned them being two, but it was a 2-year time period between when I released the first one and the second one. Okay. It really was a whole piece. I did one piece that was mostly females, and then I got a lot of males that were really upset. Oh, why? What about us? And I said, well, just wait a little bit and put it out. But it really makes a nice set. And for most people that have concerns about decorating, I've even had both of these pieces framed in one frame, which really makes a nice over-the-sofa piece. So it's been very popular.
Well, I can say that for many of you out there, you live in Baltimore.
Yes, I do. I live in Baltimore. My family's in Baltimore.
A graduate of Maryland Institute of Art.
Yeah, I came out of Institute.
And they actually prepared you in 10th. You know, it's so awesome to think about that, because I have a daughter right now who's in 10th grade, and I can't think of her making a living on anything that she does.
Well, Carver Senior High School is a very prominent high school. As a matter of fact, they were just voted one of the more successful high schools in Maryland recently. And that school is very instrumental in getting a lot of artists started in their own businesses. Because it was a vocational training school, it really trained people as entrepreneurs to open their own businesses, which was really great.
Talking about opening their own businesses, how many businesses have you owned now?
This is probably my third.
And at this tender young age.
You keep saying tender.
Tender young. Well, today's my birthday. I can say that.
Happy birthday.
At your tender young age. Yes. Please remember that should you desire this one now. So this is a more recent release than the first.
Yes, it is.
And if you were lucky enough to get the first two together, make a wonderful pair. 609-293, $29. At a wonderful, wonderful price tag. So where are you exactly in this painting?
That's supposed to be a secret.
What do you mean?
I think it's pretty obvious.
A self-portrait is a secret? Uh-oh, we let the cat out the bag. Look at this, so detailed. Look at the detail here. Now, were you, when you first started to paint, as adept at creating reality? Because I know a lot of artists create caricatures and not, you know, this looks like a portrait.
Well, I do a lot of different styles. I do about 4 different styles in my work, but I think the realistic pieces are the ones that have been really catching on. African Americans really relate to pieces that are realistic and that are figurative. The more abstract or loose styles, sometimes they have a problem interpreting. So a lot of times my more realistic pieces are the pieces that really tend to do well. And
for all the collectors out there joining us on these, I'm going to briefly let you tell everybody out there about the recent fire that you've had in your studio.
In that fire, back in November the 10th, we had a Lebanon alarm fire in Baltimore, which everybody heard on CNN, but it ended up being my studio. And in that studio, I lost close to 2,000 originals, and I lost just about everything that I painted from age 8 to present. So it's been a real struggle trying to get things back in place. There's been a lot of really good people behind me, and family, and the art industry as well. And we've been able to put the studio back together again, and I have at least 35 of the 50 pieces that I had on the market back in swinging for things again. So
please make sure to stay in the ordering process. We're going to give you a review of what we've brought out so far in the segment. It'll be quick. Number 594-682, Lessons in Living at $29.95. If I'm not mistaken, there may be 2 left available. Let's go right ahead and take a look at what else we brought to you. The African Rhymes shirt at $14, number 592-6065. We also brought to you Ensemble shirt, number 58661. In the print. number 568553 at only $29. We then moved immediately on to the watch, which did sell out. A work of art from Poncho Brown. And to item number 609292, which is the women's version of Blackest Black at $29. And right now we're bringing you, of course, the counterpart. And, you know, this was a good move. You know, women buy art a lot. So see, he did the women first, and then to appease the guys out there, he gave you this one. It's been a pleasure to have you here in our studio, Poncho. I hope you come back soon and bring us some other works of art at great prices. You never know who you'll see here on BET Shop. Remember, we endeavor to bring you the best at great prices. So we'll continue. You come right back.